The aim of this presentation is to explain the cultural dimensions of Hofstede with my understanding and phonics, also outline some examples. And to the audience, people who wants to know more about cultural dimensions in an easy way, mostly Bahraini people. Cultural dimensions, they are the characteristics that are founded by Hofstede to compare the national cultures differences between countries. I think the cultural dimensions made it easier for people to understand or compare another culture when just comparing the 6 dimensions which take the majority to know other countries. Uncertainty avoidance. Uncertainty avoidance is the amount of stress a culture or an organization has which is caused with uncertainty. According to Hofstede cultural dimensions, Gulf people prefer teaching structured lessons. They also recently added strict traffic and driving laws to people who live in Bahrain, which was the cause of them being uncertain if something might happen because of someone. Collectivism, individualism. Collectivism is the person who is part of the group who stays committed to the group's goals and rights, with sacrificing his goals for the group, and to them, the group is their first concern. In Bahrain, some families depend on communicating and gatherings such as Ramadan. They gather to fast together in this holy month. Individuals is the person who always makes his own choices and decisions without having anyone to interfere with his rights and pursue his path with his own values and priorities. For example, the King Salman of Saudi Arabia made a decision to open a cinema for the first time in KSA and to allow women to drive. Universalism, particularism. Universalism is the focus of all people of rules to be treated as one and not to depend on relationships and ties. People who sell stuff, they don't pass the money for the higher ups, and they just in need of money, so they don't care what's the role of the person. Particularism is what mostly depends on ties and relationships, which is the opposite of universalism. These days, people in Bahrain lean more to particularism, such as finding a job. Mostly, they hire jobs from ties or relatives, and such it's hard to get a job without ties or relatives. Neutral affective. Neutral is the way to express and communicate without emotions and having a cold heart towards situations. People in Bahrain tend to act harsh and cold towards their families because they feel humiliated and disappointed in their family reflexes and responses. Affective is approaching people emotionally, depending on people solely. Some people tend to express emotionally, such as in Bahrain. Most wives and husbands argue over taking care of the family and have issues, and then it results to divorce, which can damage the family emotionally. There are 2 examples of localizing websites. The first example is Betelco, Bahrain telecommunication company, a calling and internet services industry. The medium uses mostly phones and laptops and any other technologies. The message, they don't have specific message, but instead they have multiple, which they are targeting the workers or people at home who need internet connections. The targeted audience, teenagers and business workers, and people who use technology often. The medium localized by the represented the colors of the country flag on their logo and website and the warmth and the culture through special events of Bahrain. I recommend they could include a method to pay online with the Samsung cards from phone to pay the bills, which is easier than going themselves to the shop. The second example is Bahrain City Center Mall, shopping and marketing industry. The medium used is mostly laptop and phones. The message is aiming to create great moments for everyone every day. Targeted audience, consumers to fulfill their needs and interests. The medium localized is by their search bar, for example. They can search for the stores or in the menu bar to check each sections and what does the mall provide. I recommend they should consider the customer's capability of paying and participating in the mall, so they should include live chat for visitors to put their opinion. To conclude, cultural damages are to compare and understand, and a strategy avoidance is to make strict rules for certain situations. Collectivism and individualism to